Generally speaking, the Japanese emperor is not considered to have a huge influence on net slang, but that's not the case for this video's slang term of okimochi hyogen, or literally a feeling expression, with a little O at the front to be more fancy or whatever. The meaning of this phrase, okimochi hyogen, is going to depend heavily on whether or not you use it to refer to somebody else's expressions or to your own expressions. When referring to somebody else, this is a form of critique, generally expressing that somebody's opinions, statements, etc. are biased, lengthy, and unwanted. For instance, in this post here, you can see somebody criticizing someone they call Mr. Corolla, because the person has a Toyota Corolla as their profile picture. And in it, they note that they are making 6 okimochi hyogen about people that don't make enough money. And while I'm not going to show you all of these complaints, they're generally delighting in the suffering of people that are not financially well off. So in this, we see a lot of features that are considered stereotypical of okimochi hyogen, that they are critical, that nobody wants to hear them, and that they are long or there's a lot of them. Here's another pretty straightforward example that features a lot of these traits. As you can see in the translation, the person is critiquing people who critique online relationships and people that get into online relationships. And in doing this, the author notes that they've never had an online romance and they never plan to have one. However, they believe that butting in and doing a lot of okimochi hyogen is not appropriate. And so here again, you see the idea of comments, feelings that are expressed, which are negative, critical, and unwanted. In contrast, though, when you're referring to your own stuff as a okimochi hyogen, it's a little more lighthearted, as in a recognition that you're going to spend a lot of time talking negatively about something that most people don't care about. It's like a precursor to a rant. On that note, I went to Japan over the holidays and I really enjoyed it, but you know what one thing that I really can't stand is? Service charges. Why do these exist? It's annoying. I went to a whiskey bar and I got 2 drinks because they were 1,000 yen each. I was like, wow, that's a really good price for this. And then when I went and paid, it was like 2,700 yen. And I was like, oh, right, that's right. I forgot service charges exist because I thought the world was a just and fair place. And all I got for it is a little piece of bread with some stuff on it, which was good, but I wouldn't have paid more than like 150 yen for it. And I didn't ask for it. I thought they were being nice to me, but no, they were just charging me 700 yen for something that cost them like 50 yen. It's annoying. Cut it out. I literally could have and would have bought another drink. It had been so long since I've been to Japan that I literally blocked out their existence. Anyway, that's my okimochi hyogen. But you can see somebody else doing it here, stating that they don't normally do okimochi hyogen, but they're going to, and then yes, there were a lot of screenshots there. And I guess even more blatantly, here's somebody literally kind of subtitling the word guchi or a complaint with okimochi hyogen, treating them as kind of synonyms of one another. Or at least doing the internet version of the manga thing where you take a word and put another word over it to kind of double their meaning up together. Now, how does this all relate to the Japanese emperor? Well, let's wrap up with that. You can actually find uses of okimochi hyogen going back to at least 2011. But if you look back this far, the term is very rare, and the kind of meanings that I've described, the kind of uses are not necessarily present. For instance, in the old post you're looking at now, the person uses it just to actually mean like expressions of one's feelings, here compliments to what the person has created. Like, thank you for your positive feedback. Thank you for interacting with and commenting on what I'm putting out in the world. They, unlike everyone we've seen, they say they're actually happy, thankful for the okimochi hyogen. Indeed, up until 2016, I could find less than a dozen tweets that use this phrase. Now, if you're wondering what happened in 2016 to change all this, well, that is the year that the Emperor Akihito decided to step down, which is something that emperors don't usually do. And in the video where he stated this decision, he used the phrase "watashi no kimochi o ohanashi itashimashita," or literally, I have, spoken about my feelings. The media in covering this referred to the entire discussion as the okimochi hyogen, as you can see in screenshots like this. Initially then, use of this term was just to refer to the emperor's speech. However, things got sarcastic. Yes, Japanese has sarcasm, don't make me do another okimochi hyogen. But it did take time for this to happen. For instance, in 2017, if you look up okimochi hyogen, you can find way more hits than in the past. But this kind of negative, I am complaining, I am butting in kind of thing, that meaning's not there. Because of course the emperor didn't do that. For instance, this person in late 2017 just notes that a typhoon is coming, but it's not too close, and they're going to go to work, and they call that their okimochi hyogen. It's just like a statement of their feelings. They're not really complaining about anything. They're just saying they're going to work, just like an emperor might say that they're not going to work anymore. And like, here's a use which just uses the phrase to refer to the ability of an image to express feelings. Now, I didn't read every single tweet from 2016 until present to find out when people started using this term sarcastically, but I can say that there are clear uses by 2018, so about 2 years. This is a bit of a hard tweet to explain, so First, I'll just note that it's using the phrase okimochi hyogen kisei, which is like restrictions that are resulting from people's unnecessary and unwanted critiques. And they link it to the term femi, which is a somewhat discriminatory term for feminists used on the Japanese internet. However, the person here is not actually complaining about feminism itself, but is instead critiquing otaku who use that term. So use the term okimochi hyogen to complain about the comments of feminists. It's like an onion of complaints where people are complaining about people complaining about people complaining. So the writer is against the otaku who are calling the complaints of feminists okimochi hyogen, but that still shows the use of okimochi hyogen by this time to be something which is negative and unwanted. I wish there was an easier example from 2018, but that's what I found. Clear uses continue, such as this person who refers to a kaiwai, can't have a video without mentioning a kaiwai, that they are critiquing as people that value their own personal freedom and sense of justice over like rules and law. And as examples of this, they list anti-maskers and people who are trying to do okimochi hyogen restrictions, as mentioned earlier, or griping about their feelings endlessly in order to get things changed. Now, of course, this does not mean that all uses of okimochi hyogen are always negative. Not everyone gets the memo. For instance, this is a more recent use wherein it just literally means that the picture is expressing the feeling of really wanting to eat ramen. But generally speaking, if somebody refers to what somebody's saying as a okimochi hyogen in the current era, although I should note that obviously use has gone down since 2016, they are referring to an unwanted and critical rant. And that's the video. Please give me your okimochi hyogen about it in the comments.